First thing, I want to definitely say my thoughts and prayers are out for all those who have been affected by Hurricane Harvey. I know it's been a tough deal, but we're here any which way we need to be in order to help anybody. So want to definitely give my prayers and thoughts to them. With that, on to game week, finally here. Opponent Lamar, obviously a new coaching staff. I've known Coach Schultz for a long time, very well respected in the coaching community, done some unbelievable things as an offensive coordinator. We've talked a lot of ball, so we're very familiar with each other. There's no doubt in my mind that the transition will be really easy through him, just through his background and all the coaches he's been around. I know that transition will go smoothly, and I know that there'll be a tough, disciplined football team with high expectations and a lot of confidence. So with that, we'll open it up to questions.
Coach, have you determined a starting quarterback for week 1?
Yes, we're going to go with Mason Fine. I think he's had an unbelievable camp, has really done some really good things as in leading the offense. His leadership's gotten better. Again, he's by far and away had the best fall camp. But at the same time, Quinn has done a lot of great things as well. The type of teammate he is, the type of leader he is, we expect him to have a role. And we'll see how the game goes. Depending, I'm not going to say we're going to sit here and play two, but feel very comfortable with Quinn as well. I know he can help this football team win, and it's a long season.
Could you see it being more week-to-week evaluations, or do you think that it's pretty Mason's pretty safe?
Right now, we're going with Mason. He's our starting quarterback, and I don't foresee any week-to-week evaluations. But again, it's as the season goes, as you know, we got to make sometimes tough decisions, and whatever is in the best interest of our football team, that's who we're going to go with.
What have you seen from Mason from a leadership standpoint that he's grown on in this fall game?
Oh, well, more vocal, one. Leading by example is not one of the leadership qualities that we really say as being a leader. That's called being a great teammate. And it's being able to go out and hold guys accountable, great communication. And, I think he's really grown up and feels more comfortable now that being in that role.
Have you seen the chemistry between him and the pretty much new receiving corps grow in this fall?
Yeah, they've really grown, that whole entire group. The offensive skill, they've put a lot of work in, not only this fall camp, but over the summer. And we're more crisp than we were at any point in the spring. So I feel pretty good about that group and look forward to seeing them make big plays for us.
I think Mason's experience will just really help him as he goes into his second year.
Yeah, obviously this past season was a year that we would have liked to redshirt Mason and get him bigger, stronger, and faster and learn the offense. Let it slow down for him a little bit, but we didn't have that opportunity. But with that, it forced him into live action, got him a lot of game experience. I know he'll feel comfortable going into any venue and competing. So, and he understands. Again, I think he understands it more this year than ever. It's not all on his shoulders. He has playmakers around him, and all he has to do is manage the football game for us.
You have a lot of confidence in him.
Yeah, I do. I feel very good about Mason. Not only the type of player he is, but how he's grown, how he's developed. Again, what type of teammate he is, his leadership skills. I think we're in good hands.
Did he go just out there and win that job from the start?
Yeah.
I mean, you went into fall, you're saying, okay, we're still going to be competing here. Did he just really win the job through the duration of fall camp?
He did. And to be honest with you, coming out of spring, I didn't know. Truly, I didn't know who was going to be our starting quarterback. And, again, I thought he had a great summer. Both those guys did. But when it came down to it, I just felt like he won the job through fall camp. Again, it's great competition. Both those guys have gotten a lot better because of it. And, again, that's why I feel comfortable with both those guys.
Yeah, Quinn did seem like he really played well from the spring all the way through. He doesn't have a lot of experience, at least not game time experience on the console. Do you feel good about going into the season with a guy who's thrown, maybe one pass in his college career? You feel okay with him as your backup quarterback?
Doesn't have much experience, but he's a very mature person, and he's a little older. He understands the position, and I do feel comfortable with him. I don't think, you always worry about younger guys, some of that experience just with the early game jitters and some of that. But again, he may not have much experience, but he has a lot of maturity.
With a strong run game and an improved offensive line coming this year, could you see Mason maybe not having to do too much and really just focus on being efficient within your offense?
And we're going to, as we go, obviously we've evolved with kind of what we do offensively. And so, again, everything's on the table. I'm not saying that we're not going to, if you're asking, are we going to run Mason, a quarterback run game or something like that, is that what you're asking me?
No, just if he won't have to do too much in the air with Jeff
Like throwing the ball? Oh, we want to be balanced. We definitely want to be balanced, and in order to be balanced, you got to be able to throw the football. I do feel very good about our running backs. I feel like we have a lot of weapons there. Our offensive line has gotten a lot better run blocking, but they've also gotten a lot better in pass protection. And we're going to have to get the ball downfield, and we're going to have to make explosive plays through the air as well.
You guys just in a better spot overall as a team this year?
Yeah, year 2 in the systems, I feel like a lot more comfortable. Also, Coach Womack's done an unbelievable job of, changing their bodies. With getting bigger, stronger, and faster. Our athletic department has made an unbelievable, sacrifices to getting the resources we need with nutrition, and it's really shown. Full-time nutritionist, which, again, you can tell just by being in pads how much better we look as a team. And we've also had some good additions through recruiting, and our coaches have done a good job with evaluating and getting the right guys who fit our systems. So year 2 should be better, and I feel like that we are.
You like having the FCS game to start. Last year, you faced SMU right off the bat when you didn't have a lot of experience in the system. The guys hadn't played in it. This year, you've got that FCS game first before you go down to 4. Is that a better setup for you guys?
At the end of the day, the schedule says who we play, and I really don't really get into that. We got to be prepared and to face a great opponent in Lamar. I promise you this: they're going to be coming here ready to beat us. And they're going to come in here feeling like they can win this football game. I've known Coach Schultz too long. I know what type of coach he is. It's going to be a great football game, and we're excited about the competition.
After losing that tough game to SMU last year to start the season, how much would a win in the opener this year do for you guys as you look to get back to a bowl game?
Well, obviously, they're all important, but yeah, you want to start fast, and obviously, we want to win every single game we play. But gaining that confidence, going out there and executing well, it kind of builds up that momentum, so to speak. So yeah, it's an important game for us.
What do you know about Lamar at this point, considering they've got a new staff and a lot of new players?
Well, it's interesting. Don't know quite, obviously, what they're going to do on any of the 3 phases. We have a pretty good idea within who their coordinators are, and Coach Schultz being the head coach, being an offensive guy, we have a pretty good idea of some of the things that they've done in the past. But this game's going to come down to we're going to have to go back and rely on our coaching and making sure that we're smart within our schemes. No matter what they give us, we have rules, we understand concepts, and we understand our job. So other than that, we've watched a lot of different tape, just like guys probably had to do with us this past year. And this isn't my first time to have to do it. Other places I've gone into where I've opened up with new staffs on a team. So you just prepare the best you can and let your guys go out there and, again, go back to what they're being coached to do and be efficient.
How's Bryce coming along after that training camp injury?
Good. He's back up here, obviously getting treatment. Doctors and our training staff's doing a great job with him. I think he's on track.
You still kind of anticipate he'll be back sometime around the middle of the season? You have any better idea?
I'll have a better idea as we go, seeing how he continues to come along. But whether it's kind of the early half of the season, hopefully, we're hopeful.
One guy I find kind of interesting is Lamar. He started, I think it was the first 6 games last year, and then, he had a little bit of an injury there missed the last half of the year. Now he's back in center. You expect him to come back strong, and what are your expectations for him?
I do. He's one of the guys, I haven't talked much about him, but he's had one of the better fall camps. He's really changed his body as well. He's gotten his weight down to where he can move better, more flexible, and he's had a really good fall camp. So, I'm excited about where we are with that group. We got to continue to come along and build that chemistry as we go throughout the season. But I've been pleased with how he's worked.
Isn't that pretty important as a center? In the system you guys run a spread like that, isn't that an important spot to really organize things and help get you guys set up?
Yeah, you got to be really smart. You got to understand the calls, make the calls. There's a lot that goes into that position, and I think he'll benefit as much as anybody on offense just being in year 2 of the system. It's one of those, he'll have more experience. He understands what we're looking for. And, he'll be able to make better adjustments as we go throughout a game.
So he's improved, you think, as he's gone?
Yeah, I do. I think, again, I think he's one of the guys I haven't spoke much on, but I think he's had one of the better fall camps.
He was pretty highly recruited or highly regarded coming in. Is that talent started to kind of show forth here a little bit as he gets a little more experience?
It is more experience. He's getting more mature. I think this offseason really helped him with Coach Womack and the nutrition we talked about. I think it all plays together, for all of them. But I think it's really benefited Creighton.
Did he learn a little bit from Sam Rice? Rice is one of your more experienced, better players, and he kind of played that same spot with him last year. Did he benefit from just, learning a little bit from Rice along the way?
I'm sure he did. I think overall, I think is the biggest thing he benefited from is this offseason. Did
you just kind of get healthy in the offseason to where he was able?
Got healthy, and again, the nutrition,
yeah,
the weight room, the workouts this summer. Felt like he was in better shape to be able to improve his body. And again, I think being year 2 in the system, it's going to, with that experience, with what we have to do at center, it's going to help him.
Speaking of that new nutrition and strength and conditioning and stuff, how do you feel about where Jeffrey Wilson's at heading into this year and how his health is going into the season?
He's good. I feel like he's back to full health. Feels good at practice, looks good running the ball. But he put a lot of work in the offseason. So I don't think he looks the same as he did this past year in pads. He's added the bulk that we've needed him to add to sustain a long season. And I think he's put in the work. Now it's time to go out there and produce. I know he's really excited about this upcoming season, and we are too.
So there is a sense of excitement among your players, as you get ready for your.
This time of the year, we're excited. I promise. It's you start getting I start getting in football mode. My wife doesn't always love me during the fall camp area, but I think over the years she's, it's you get in that football mode. Your mind's always turning, and you get that excitement, those butterflies, and I know our players are really excited about this opportunity this week and ready to go out and compete against somebody else. Thank you, guys.